Good evening and welcome. I'm Greg Gumbel here with my partner Clark Kellogg, bringing you the 2K Sports NCAA Selection Show. We're all set to show you the seedings and pairings, so get out your bracket sheet, get those pencils ready. Here are the basics. Of the 65 available tournament bids, 31 are automatically given to conference champions. The tournament committee hands out the remaining 34 bids on an at-large basis. An opening round game will take place on Tuesday night to narrow the field to 64 teams. Before we get into the brackets for the upcoming tournament, let's take a look at the final top 25 media poll. There's certainly one big shift that we'll be talking about. We have a new team in the top 25 this week. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are back in the poll as the number 23 team. The media rankings are what everyone's been following for the last 4 months. But in just a minute, the selection committee's opinion is going to be the only one that matters. Now let's take a look at the NCAA tournament bubble and see which teams are sitting at home with their fingers crossed, hoping to see their name in the bracket. There are a lot of worthy candidates among these 10 teams, Clark. Which of these bubble teams stands out to you right now?
Louisville had the chance to set themselves apart from the rest of the bubble team, but they never could get over that hump and guarantee themselves a spot.
You got that right, and who else might be in the same position?
Ohio State should be considered among the best of the major conference teams not holding an automatic bid, but there are plenty of non-power conference teams knocking on the door that may prevent them from getting an invitation.
I'm sure it's been a long week for those teams, but the wait's almost over. The NCAA Selection Committee has finished its meeting, and we're ready to unveil the top 4 seeds in this year's tournament. The Duke Blue Devils are the top overall seed, and they will play in the East Regional. They begin the tournament as the dominant team in college basketball. They've been ranked number 1 in the media poll for the past 10 weeks. We'll soon find out if they can live up to their billing. On to the second number 1 seed, who will play in the South Regional. The Iowa State Cyclones are seeking their first ever NCAA championship. The Mississippi State Bulldogs are our third number 1 seed, and they'll play in the Midwest Regional. They're back in the tournament again, and no doubt they'll be feeding off the experience of last year's appearance as they try to get to the Final Four this year. And finally, our fourth number 1 seed will play in the West Regional. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are in the tournament field as a number 1 seed for the first time in the history of their program. Now, here's how the brackets shape up based on where the number 1 seeds have been assigned. In one national semifinal game, the winner of the East Regional will play the winner of the South Regional. In the other semifinal game, the winner of the Midwest Regional will play the winner of the West Regional. Those games will be played on Saturday, April 1st. Then it'll be on to the national championship game on Monday night, April the 3rd. Anything shocking to you about those picks?
I don't think I'm alone in my surprise with these picks. Whenever you reach this far down the poll for the top seeds, you're guaranteed to have some second guesses coming your way.
So, with the number 1 seeds out of the way, it's finally time to tackle the rest of the brackets. First up, we take a look at the East Regional. The Duke Blue Devils are the top seed, finishing at 29-2. They won both the regular season and conference tournament titles in the ACC. They will take on the winner of the opening round play-in game between Holy Cross, with 12 wins, and Coastal Carolina from the Big South. And now, the number 8 seed, the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Marquette Golden Eagles, who were 4th in their conference, finishing at 22-9. Oklahoma State comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 24-9. And they will take on the 12th seed from the A10 Conference, the LaSalle Explorers, with 19 wins. Washington State enters the field as the number 4 seed from the Pac-10. This is their 12th appearance all-time in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed. The Northern Iowa Panthers finished the season with 22 wins.
The Washington State Cougars are a team I love watching play. They've been one of the highest scoring teams in the country, and I don't see any reason for them to slow down during the tournament. If they can dictate the tempo of a game and force the other team to run with them, they are very hard to deal with. I wouldn't put it past these guys to make a run this year.
The Texas Longhorns are in as the number 6 seed. They'll be taking on the number 11 seed, the away team, with 18 wins. Cal comes in as the number 3 seed, finishing at 26-6. Portland State comes in to face them at number 14 with 19 wins in the tournament and regular season championships of the Big Sky. Our number 7 seed is from the Pac-10. The Oregon Ducks were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Indiana Hoosiers, who were semifinalists in their conference tournament, finishing at 19-13. Next up is the number 2 seed. The Villanova Wildcats are the regular season champion from the Big East. They'll be going up against the number 15 seed, the Hawaii Warrior, with 15 wins. This is their 6th appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. There are going to be some incredible matchups in the later rounds of this bracket. If the top seeds can avoid the early upsets, we can look forward to some real heavyweight battles. Next up, we'll take a look at the South Regional. The Iowa State Cyclone are the top seed, finishing at 24-7. They were winners of the regular season championship in the Big 12. They'll take on the Wagner Seahawks, the number 16 ranked team. This marks their 4th appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. SMU comes in as the number 8 seed, finishing at 21-8. Michigan comes in to face them at number 9 with 21 wins and a chance to prove they're right where they belong among the top 65 teams in the nation. Temple enters the field as the number 5 seed from the A-10 Conference. This marks their 28th appearance all-time in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 12 seed, the Albany Great Danes. Finished the season with 25 wins.
The Temple Owls are a team that is just so powerful and strong up front. I would put their front court up against just about any other teams in the nation right now. It's always good to have strong guard play, but if you ask most coaches, I guarantee you they take the good big man over the good little man most times. Their interior play should serve them very well in this competition.
UNLV comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 24-7. And they'll take on the 13th seed from the Sun Belt Conference, the Arkansas State Indians, with 18 wins. And now the number 6 seed, the Maryland Terrapins, come into the tournament as the 4th place team in their conference during the regular season and were semifinalists in their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Ohio State Buckeyes, who were 6th in their conference, finishing at 20-12. The Charlotte 49ers are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the Murray State Racers, with 21 wins. Next up is the number 7 seed. The Pittsburgh Panthers have established themselves as one of the best teams from the Big East. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the Oklahoma Sooners, with 19 wins. They return once more to the very familiar surroundings of the NCAA tournament. Our number 2 seed is from the SEC. The Kentucky Wildcats were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They're going to play the number 15 seed, the UC Irvine Anteaters, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 17-15. It's the first question every Selection Sunday. Which is the toughest bracket? Well, this bracket looks to me like it wins that prize this year. Not only are the top seeds strong, the lower seeds can be dangerous as well. On to our 3rd bracket of the day. Let's take a look at the Midwest Regional. The Mississippi State Bulldogs are the top seed, finishing at 25-8. They were conference tournament champions in the SEC. They'll take on the Grambling State Tigers, the number 16 ranked team. This marks their 1st appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. Our number 8 seed is from the Big 10. The Wisconsin Badgers were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the Big Dance. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Virginia Tech Hokies, who were 6th in their conference, finishing at 18-12. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are in as the number 5 seed. They'll be taking on the number 12 seed, the San Diego State Aztecs, with 19 wins. Texas A&M enters the field as the number 4 seed from the Big 12. This is their 12th appearance all-time in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the Southern Utah Thunderbirds. Finished the season with 22 wins.
The Texas A&M Aggies are going to provide serious matchup problems to any team that doesn't have depth and defensive ability at both guard spots. They have outstanding backcourt play at both ends of the court. It's the main reason they've made it this far, and they're going to have to maintain that form if they want to do some damage in this tournament.
Illinois comes in as the number 6 seed, finishing at 24-8. And they take on the 11th seed from Conference USA, the Memphis Tigers, with 21 wins. And now the number 3 seed, the Syracuse Orange, come into the tournament on the strength of a 3rd place finish in their conference regular season and were winners of their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 14 seed, the Buffalo Bulls, who came in 1st in their conference tournament, finishing at 17-15. Next up is the number 7 seed. The Clemson Tigers have established themselves as one of the best teams from the ACC. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the Princeton Tigers, with 25 wins. They return once more to the very familiar surroundings of the NCAA tournament. Georgetown comes in as the number 2 seed, finishing at 25-7. Hampton comes in to face them at number 15 with 18 wins in the tournament championship of the MEAC. What a tremendous regional final we'd have in this bracket if the number 1 and 2 seeds here make it through the first 3 rounds unscathed. That could be one of the games of the tournament. And finally, let's have a look at the West Regional. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are the top seed, finishing at 27-3. They won both the regular season and conference tournament titles in the West Coast Conference. They'll take on the Texas San Antonio Roadrunners, the number 16 ranked team. This will be their 5th appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. Next up is the number 8 seed. The LSU Tigers have established themselves as one of the best teams from the SEC. They'll be going up against the number 9 seed, the Cincinnati Bearcats, with 21 wins. They return once more to the very familiar surroundings of the NCAA tournament. George Washington comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 25-9. And they will take on the 12th seed from the Metro Atlantic Conference, the Marist Red Foxes, with 22 wins. Auburn comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 24-6. Youngstown State comes in to face them at number 13 with 18 wins in the tournament championship of the Horizon League. Our number 6 seed is from the Big Ten. The Michigan State Spartans had a tremendous year that included a regular season championship. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Florida Gators, who were 6th in their conference, finishing at 16-13. The North Carolina Tar Heels are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the Elon Phoenix, with 20 wins. And now the number 7 seed, the away team, come into the tournament first in their conference during the regular season and were winners of their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Alabama Crimson Tide, who were 5th in their conference, finishing at 19-13. Arizona State enters the field as the number 2 seed from the Pac-10. This will be their 20th appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. They'll be getting ready to face the number 15 seed. The East Tennessee State Buccaneers finished the season with 17 wins.
The Arizona State Sun Devils will be an extremely dangerous team in this tournament, mainly because they have such terrific veteran leadership. Coaches love when they have guys on the floor that have been around the block a few times because they don't get rattled. They play with composure. I look at the experience of this team as something that could put them over the top.
Some of the lower seeds in this bracket have the ability to not only compete with the high seeds, but win a few games. The potential for a Cinderella or 2 in this bracket is definitely there. Clark, give us your take on the tournament's top 16 seeds.
North Carolina definitely deserved a better seeding, Greg. I mean, they finished the year as the number 3 team in the country. I can't figure out why the committee slotted them as a 3 seed. Texas A&M is a team I wouldn't want to face, even though they're down there as a number 4 seed. I think they've got the potential to be a Cinderella team.
Now, let's see how the conference representation fares. The SEC gets 16, the Big 12 with 6 out of the ACC. The Big East gets 16.
What a down year for the non-power conferences. We're used to seeing at least one of those conferences compete on the level of the power conferences, but not this year.
It's too bad we didn't see more small conference schools in the tournament. None of those conferences got more than 1 team in the tourney, and I don't expect any David and Goliath stories out of the teams that did get in.
I'm surprised there were so few bids for the teams in Conference USA. It was an especially disappointing year for that conference. Usually you can count on a few of the nation's elite teams coming out of there, but this was a season where very few of those teams could maintain any type of positive momentum.
Here's the list of the teams that were on the bubble heading into Selection Sunday. So, partner, which of those invitees should be sending the selection committee a thank you card?
Ohio State.
Must feel like a weight was lifted off its shoulders, but now the real challenge begins. Making a strong run in the tournament will justify the bid while proving the naysayers wrong.
While those teams are celebrating getting into the tournament, let's take a look at the other teams who were on the short end of the stick.
Fresno State can point the finger squarely at themselves for putting together a butter-soft schedule this season and then not rolling through it. If you're not going to schedule any tough games, then you'd better win more games than they did.
All right, Clark, now that we know all the teams and matchups, time to get the tournament underway and let the madness take over.
Greg, let's throw the ball up right now. I can't wait to get started. I hope this is an NCAA tournament that gives a lot of those special moments that stay with us for years to come.
For my partner Clark Kellogg and for all of us here in the 2K Sports Studios, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thanks for joining us on the NCAA Selection Show, brought to you by State Farm, the #1 auto insurer. Enjoy all the excitement of the NCAA tournament. Enjoy all the excitement of the NCAA tournament. Enjoy all the excitement of the NCAA tournament.